What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome back to On the Warpath. Sanchez 405 here with you. You know, if you're new, make sure you click that subscribe button and hit the bell so you get notifications anytime there's new content posted. And if you're coming back for more, welcome back. I appreciate it. And make sure you like, comment, share this video out because we talk Washington Commanders all the time. I see the comment. What's up, Jared? Hey, bro, me and you going one-on-one, so I got to get you up in here. I know we talked about it, so I'm gonna get you on here. You and I gonna go one-on-one. I can't have you and your rival on here with me at the same time. I do sparring matches during the season, but anyway, appreciate y'all coming by here. Chain of Command. Usually we do it on Wednesday. We're doing it on Friday today. Why? Because we can. Right. That's what we do. And then I bring in probably the smartest of our fans. And when I say this, man, it's probably the dude is a genius. He's going to be a lawyer one day, and he may be able to get Dan Snyder out of the NFL. But we bring in the man, the myth, the legend. We bring in the honorable Nati from DMVSportsZone. Nati, what's up, brother? How you feeling?
I'm doing well, bro. I am definitely not the smartest in our community, but I appreciate.
Hey, man.
I appreciate it.
Look. Hey, you got to go on, bro. You got the education, that book knowledge. So, of the law, and I know you're probably having fun this week so far, but man, welcome back to like your 8th time on this channel. I don't know. I've lost track of it. Like when you hear your family, and we just gonna get started out here. And I brag on you all the time, but I am proud of you once again, Kearney. And you were able to be part of the podcasters crew that broadcasted from FedEx Field on draft night, and just diving in and that. Just talk about that experience. What that was like. You and Evan were up there. I know he's going to have that cinnamon roll spicy chicken tomorrow, game 3. But just talk about that and what that was like, and who you met, and just go in to dive in that for us a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was a dope experience for sure. See people in the chat. It was a dope experience for sure. Very last minute in terms of trying to get it done. I don't know if you guys could tell by our setup and stuff there, but no, it was really great, man. Like the first person I saw on my way through like the VIP section of FedEx Field, through the security section, was Logan Thomas. And this guy is so tall, man, so big. Like,
my guy,
it was crazy. He's the first guy I saw, like, and he was just walking up with his family, just all business and stuff. And I saw Jonathan Allen, my guy for a while there.
No, did you fangirl when you saw John Allen?
I'm not gonna lie, kind of did. I kind of did. He was the first. So no, but it was a weird thing because they rotated the guests that came in, right? Whether it be Jonathan Allen, Logan Thomas, Doug Williams was there, and Kendall Fuller as well. And they were rotating guests. And I walked out to go to the bathroom, and then I walked back into like the content creator tent, and Jonathan Allen was like merging in like my direction and stuff. And like he just dapped me up. He was like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "What's up? This is Jonathan Allen." I like that just went through my mind and stuff. And I don't know, it was crazy. I did not fade. No, but it was a great experience. Very fortunate, and shout out to Ref the District again for giving me the connect, and great experience.
Yeah, Nathan Stoner. Trev wasn't up there because Trev, I think, probably lives closer to me than most of those guys do from FedEx Field. But yeah, man, looks like y'all had a great experience out there. I know I joked on there. I said Evan needs to get Lou Holder on there. I said that is his. I said that like that. I'm so shocked y'all have not had Lou Holder on the channel yet. Like that is
we should.
I had him on here, and that is one of the most genuine people, wholesome folks that you'll ever have, and you have a great conversation with them. And I got to meet him in person a couple weeks ago when they did the good going away thing for Travis Thomas. So I'd recommend that. But but y'all had some good content. I did see with John Allen, and I was just thinking about, like I said, Nati's gonna lose his stuff. Let's shout out a couple people here. I see Abdullah's in here. What's up, man? The man who can get anybody to come on y'all's channel, Abdullah. What's up, Will Diggs? Oh, look, Reverend Ike is in the house. How you doing, Reverend Ike? You can't lose with stuff. He's actually supporting Ron Rivera. And Patrick West, always a big supporter of all us here in the community. Appreciate you. What's good, brother? How you feeling? But it looks like it was a good, well turned out event. And you mentioned Doug Williams. I'll never forget. I went up there during the when they had the reopening of FedEx Field and everything when they first let fans back. And there was only one time I actually fanboyed, and you can see it in the picture too. And I wasn't really a fanboy. It was just like. Like this, and it was when I met Tanya Snyder. And you see me, I've got a can of Bud Light in my hand. I had to put it down lower, so I'm kind of looking like this. And then Doug Williams, funniest thing, he was stuffing his face. I said, Doug, can I get a picture with you, please? He's like, yeah, sure. He just went back to eat. So that's a funny story. What's up, Uptown Dre? How you feeling, bro? But yeah, man, it's good. But we talk about this draft. Jahan Dotson goes 16th overall to our Washington Commanders, the first commander that was drafted, but he's not really the first commander, right?
Did you happen to see my tweet from earlier in the week? Yeah, so I think it was Santana Moss. I think he and Jahan Dotson had like an interview, and on his Instagram caption, on Santana Moss's Instagram caption was Jahan Dotson, welcome to the first commander ever drafted. And I feel like if we're gonna ride with that, the whole first commander ever drafted thing, then technically the Commanders are 0-time Super Bowl champs, right? Is that how it goes?
Yeah,
if he's the first ever commander drafted. I mean, you could say he's the first ever player drafted in this era.
Name.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe a name. But you bring up a very valid point. Shout out to Big Doug too. I saw him in here. He actually tweeted us there. Ref the District. Shout out to our guys too. Two of our favorites. Appreciate you guys. And then the Podfather Kyle. What's up, brothers? Appreciate y'all checking us out on Twitter, retweeting and liking us and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think you bring up a darn good point about that. I think it was more from a social media standpoint, like, the first commander. That sounds good. But to your point, though, I think you will make one hell of a point, though. If we're trying to get past, the Washington Commanders, the Washington football team, Washington Redskins, Boston Braves with Boston Redskins, whatever, they're all the same thing. I don't think you can be throwing that. You can't be throwing that around too lightly. It's like
still rep 3 Super Bowls,
right? Yep. You're still that's like brandishing a weapon, right? You can't be doing that. But I thought, and you talk about Jahan Dotson, a pick that I was a little perplexed at when I saw it originally. I was like, "What in the world?" I said, "Who?" And I got railed in the comments on the video I did because I felt it was a reach. People will shout out to your resource. It's like, what sources do you have on this? I share sources, and people are like, "Oh, this is only 2 sources." I'm like, sorry, I didn't know the people at NFL.com and Pro Football Focus didn't know what they were talking about, but they had a second round talent. What was the stadium like when they announced Jahan Dotson? When they traded back. And then when they announced Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, so on the trade back, there was much more excitement on the trade back than on the pick of Jahan Dotson. Everybody was super hyped about the trade back because, there was obviously rumors of it happening for weeks, and it eventually happened. But the one thing is, though, I think a lot of us fans that were there were counting down the picks for Kyle Hamilton, right, who ended up going, I believe, at 14, which is a couple of picks before our pick. Yeah. And but the Jahan Dotson pick, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people weren't happy. He was not one of the guys that I said I wanted at pick 11 or in the first round in the video that I put up the week prior. But after watching a lot more tape of him, after reading more about him, after seeing the interviews that the team has posted, I'm super hyped about Jahan Dotson, man. Like I know it's sort of easy to throw this comparison around, but I can see him being that Tyler Lockett for us, that potential, Tyler Lockett-like player for us, and he has all the tools that you want. Sure, he didn't have he didn't play for the big time school like Ohio State, although he did play for Penn State, but he didn't have the big time quarterback, I should say, in CJ Stroud. He balled out for Penn State. He made the quarterback look better, and I think he'll make a certain quarterback here in DC look a lot better too.
Yeah, and to your point, I wouldn't that make him more impressive for what he did and up there at State Penn last year. Sorry, I forgot. Anyway, up there at State, College Station. There we go. I finally got it out right. It doesn't make what he accomplished more impressive than what Chris Olave did, or maybe even slightly Garrett Wilson, what he did at Ohio State, because you had a capable quarterback. Now, Clifford, nobody's talking about Clifford being like NFL talent up there at with the Nittany Lion. So I think
Rivera roasted him.
Right. Yeah, Oh, Ron, he just keeps on doing this stuff. He just runs his mouth too much. He's going to get in trouble. But when I went back and looked at the tape, and I said, hindsight's 20/20, right? I said, I found a guy that he's a chess piece. You can do anything with him. There were plays, there were highlights of him throwing the ball like that's a gadget play. I thought in the red zone, especially in end zone, where he knows where out of bounds is. Like, if you look at his catches, he always knows where the line is. And he does, and what he does, he catches it and he hauls it in. He's got a great catch radius. I wasn't on board with this pick. I thought it was a little bit of a reach, but maybe that's what you need is a little bit of reach. Now, there is some bad history here, though, because the last time Washington traded back, there's two folds. Last time Washington traded, but here's the bad one. Last time Washington traded back and Baltimore picked a hit of them, they took a safety. Also, that safety ended up being Ed Reed in 2020, in 2002. And then also, remember, 2011, we had pick 11. Traded back to 16, just drafted a guy named Ryan Kerrigan. And that didn't work out too well for us, though. But so, there's a possibility this could work out for us. And I think that you have to expect the unexpected with Ron Rivera and in this front office and Mayhew and all them boys, because whatever our draft boards say, nobody had Jahan Dotson on their draft board.
A lot of people had him as a late first rounder, and that's sort of where I expected him. Maybe like to the Green Bay Packers or Pittsburgh Steelers, some team like that. But honestly, like I know we did not get the best value when it came to drafting him at 16. I understand that, but I think he's going to be a baller for us. I really do, Corey. I'm very optimistic about this draft class, which I know is kind of out of the ordinary for when talking about this team and stuff.
You're a pessimist by nature, but
Now, not about this draft class though, which is kind of crazy.
So
I feel like it's flipped.
It's gonna be It's gonna be a terrible draft class, y'all. Just to let you know that it's very reverse psychology. No, I think there was some good. I liked a lot of these picks here, but yeah, Jahan Dotson, I think he's going to do all right as long as he stays healthy. He gives Carson Wentz another weapon. Taylor Heineke, if he comes in there and has to pitch relief for Wentz, and we'll get back to draft here in a second. Carson Wentz, it seems like the Indianapolis Colts can't keep his name out of his mouth. Chris Ballard actually came out yesterday, was saying, well, we thought about even if we made the playoffs, we were going to kick him to the curb. Is this them trying to cover their tracks, or is there smoke and fire there?
Both. I think they're definitely, I think they definitely, they're definitely trying to make the best out of the situation that happened, right? Trading a quarterback that you thought would be the answer after only a year of him playing for your team. I think they're trying to make themselves out to be, better than what they are. But at the same time, I think you can tell, Corey, from like my previous comments, I'm not a super big Carson Wentz fan. And I think all this talk about, his situation in Indy, and we'll probably get a little bit more into it later, but like, I don't know. There is some truth to it. There is some truth to this discussion. People could scoff at it all they want, but I mean, he was supposed to be the answer, guys, in Indy last year, right? Supposed to be the answer at the quarterback position. 2 years ago, 2020, 11-5, and they had the same roster, if not worse roster at that point. A lot of the players that ended up being stars last year were rookies, unproven players. And they were 11-5 with a 39-year-old almost retired Phillip Rivers. Last year was supposed to be the answer, right, at quarterback. They were supposed to make a big jump. They ended up losing 2 games off of the previous season and didn't make the playoffs after 2 duds of games that you could say the defense did not show up, but I would say Carson Wentz had about 65% to do with their epic collapse towards the end of the season, at best.
I give 45. I think you're very misdirected in that one. They played a close game against a playoff team again in the Raiders at home, right? Who was hot. They were dealing hot. Jacksonville, they had struggled with previously in Indianapolis.
But he was supposed to be the answer.
He got sacked 6 times, Nati.
Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times and still won.
He got sacked. Oh, come on now.
I'm just saying. He's supposed to be the answer.
6 times against Jacksonville. And you go back and look at these sacks. The man had no time. Indianapolis's offensive line regressed last year. I don't care what anybody says. You go back and look at those sacks. I want you to honestly look at those sacks against Jacksonville, at Jacksonville. And you tell me how many of those are actually Carson Wentz. He's going into play action fake, and he's getting sacked already. He couldn't even look up. Come on now.
I get that. I do. And everybody likes to throw out, the Indianapolis Colts were, I think, 30th by PFF in terms of pass blocking and all that. But I don't think people understand. Last year, if you watched Colts games, whether it be because you have fantasy implications on the line or you were a Colts fan,
the ball.
They ran the ball. They tried to make it easy. Well, nothing's easy in the NFL, but easier for Carson Wentz last year. They tried to lessen his burden. They tried to make sure that he wouldn't force the costly mistakes that he did the year prior and in years prior for Philly. So they tried to make it easier for him. They did not put too much, burden on him. And when they tried to rely on him towards the end of the season, when Jonathan Taylor was not finding the same holes that he was finding earlier in the season, the last 2 games in particular, I think Jonathan Taylor had 65 yards in one of them, and he was not Jonathan Taylor of old, right? At least in terms of the 2021 season. They tried to rely on Carson Wentz, and when they did, they failed. And I think that people can scoff at it all they want, but all I'm saying is that we can't expect Carson Wentz to be the answer at quarterback here until proven otherwise.
Oh no, I don't think that we're saying he's the answer, but I think he's a better option than Taylor Heineke.
Oh, for sure.
He's obviously he's worth 2 games. He's worth 2 more games this season because I would say Indianapolis is Washington's defense. If you get it right, better than Indianapolis. Outside of Jonathan Taylor,
talent-wise, we have a much better talented defense, I should say. We have a talented
if you get
defense.
everything together, you have better defense than them.
Last year the Colts were, I think, 8th in points allowed, and where were we last year on defense? There's one thing for talent, and there's another thing for production. And I think until our defense shows it, we showed it in 2020, but until we show it for multiple years, the Colts defense has been showing it, Corey, for multiple years now. We got to give them props. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but the offense too now. They're going through their 3rd quarterback in 3 years. To me, and it might be the homer in me, and I'm not I'm have my doubts about Carson Wentz, but I'm going to support the dude. That's my quarterback.
Oh, for sure.
But this team's they're going through their 4th or 5th different quarterback coming into opening day. That's not sustainable. Something at the end of the day, it's not with the quarterback, it's with you. That's all, and that's my point. Like it's something that Indianapolis is not doing. Now, I don't know if Jim Irsay invites him into the office. He puts a powdered donuts on the line and puts on the table and says, here, it's powdered sugar. Sniff it. Like, old Booger Sugar Irsay, that's probably what he's doing, allegedly. Not trying to get sued. But, I mean, I don't know. Especially when you got an owner that meddles. Like, see, Snyder gets a bad rap, which he deserves it. I'm not going to apologize for him. But there are a lot more meddlesome owners in there. Jim Irsay was the GM of the Colts. They didn't have a winning record with him. They had one winning record when he was the talent evaluator, putting these guys out there.
I'll say this. I looked this up, I think, a couple days ago. Because Rio Robinson and I were having a back and forth on this in terms of Jim Irsay and his standing among the owners and how good he is and stuff. And I don't think Jim Irsay is the greatest, but I think we can. I talked about things we can't scoff at. He has the 4th highest winning percentage among owners in the NFL right now, right? Again, I'm not saying he's the greatest. I know he has his flaws with the personal character stuff, but at the same time, like, he isn't among the worst owners. Like, everybody likes to point to, the powder stuff and likes to say, oh, because of that, his critiques on Carson Wentz, his critiques on how the quarterback played for his team last year are... They can't be accurate. There's no way they can be accurate.
Take Bill Polian out of that conversation in the wins that take those wins that Bill Polian was there. Didn't
Irsay hire him?
Irsay hired him.
Yeah,
but it's probably, I'm telling you, Irsay probably wasn't going in that room like, hey, we need to do this, we need to do that. No, Polian was doing what Polian could do. And then when you had Peyton Manning out there, I'm not saying, and I'm not going to.
4th highest winning percentage right now, as in, like, even after the losing years that they had. I mean, they've still, again, 2020, they won 11 games with Philip Rivers, almost retired.
And they won 9 with Carson Wentz.
I know, but I think,
and you won with Philip Rivers, who had, like, he was just coming off a 12-win season, 9-win season, something like that. They were coming off. They had just 2 years prior. So I don't know. We'll see. I just think that for somebody to keep on mentioning it, I feel like you're covering tracks. Yeah. Like, just move on. Like, why do you need to mention this anymore? He's gone. You know what happened when they got caught with the pants down because they burned Carson. They sent Carson Wentz off before the Eagles even had a chance to burn that 1st-round pick. There you go. So, you look like the black Eric Spoelstra. There you go. Let's see here. They lost. Well, Tommy T says good point here. They lost 6 years in a row at Jacksonville.
But he's supposed to be the answer. Why do we keep excusing that? Carson Wentz is supposed to be the answer at quarterback.
I'm not excusing it though. But there's a fundamental flaw that's not just Carson Wentz though.
I get that, but when they brought in Carson Wentz, he was supposed to, voice crack. When they brought in Carson Wentz, he was supposed to be the guy that put them over the top. And he didn't just not put them over the top.
What? With what?
Compared to 2020? Damn it,
if I got Nati, if I got
compared to 2020.
Hold on. If I got a 2021 Cadillac, it's supposed to take me, but I got used tires on it. It can look as good as it want to. If the tires are crappy, if I'm using it from the 1980 Cadillac, they ain't they're not gonna work as well. So if you're giving him crap to work with, you had one player. He had one damn player. He had Jonathan Taylor. That was it.
Why is it that we love to say that he had crap to do or crap to work with last year when Philip Rivers had literally the same players and they won 11 games? 39-year-old Philip Rivers, who's a high school coach right after he retired.
I'm going to use your logic against you. You got to surround people with good talent, and they will succeed. A la your boy Matt Stafford. Okay, we're done with this now. I felt dirty even saying that. But,
okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, I felt dirty.
Carson Wentz had better weapons on his offense last year than Matt Stafford had in his latter seasons. I'm not talking about the Calvin Johnson. Like, obviously, he had better weapons then. But in terms of the last couple of seasons, yes. On Detroit, do you not remember how many games they lost? And you think it's just Matt Stafford's fault? I mean, he has somewhat to do with it.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that if you put the right talent around him in a place that he actually, I think the homeboy is going to be all right. He's the second best quarterback in the NFC East, and it's not even close. So Rivers is better than Wentz. I don't know if we're speaking only Sith speaking actualities like that. Let's see here. Go ahead.
Can I push back on the Carson Wentz is the second best quarterback in the NFC East position? Because
sure.
I think one can make the argument that Jalen Hurts is better. I know people. I know. Yes. Let me. Listen, Corey. I got my evidence. I got my evidence backed up for tomorrow's live stream on my channel. But I'll lay it out. I'll lay it all out right here. Listen. Just bear with me, guys. Bear with me before you guys trash me in the comments. Listen. Okay, Carson Wentz. First off, go online, look up quarterback rankings. I bet you 70%. I literally did this. 70% of the sites that I looked up literally had Jalen Hurts ahead of Carson Wentz. So for people thinking, oh, Nati, you have a minority opinion here. I'm in the majority. If you ask people outside of the Eagles and outside of the Washington football team, Washington Commanders fan base. Listen, okay. First off, so Jalen, I think, has a slight edge because he beat out Wentz in an NFL quarterback competition. This was in college, right? Everybody likes to talk about how, there's been college competitions in the past at quarterback, and even the guy that wins out the competition doesn't always end up being the better quarterback. This is an NFL quarterback competition. They pushed Carson Wentz out the door. Jalen Hurts was their starter. He led a team, this is Jalen Hurts. He led a team, everybody and they mama thought was going to finish last in the NFC East last year in the play, or not end up being in the playoffs. And they ultimately did end up being in the playoffs. Well, Carson had going to the season, a lot of people forget this, had a Super Bowl contending roster per fans, scouts, and NFL analysts going into last season. And you know what happened? Carson Wentz, 9-8. Sure, Jalen Hurts was 9-8, but he did more with less last year than Carson Wentz did. Another point that I want to get to. We saw the face plant, tail end of the season, losing to the Raiders, worst team in the NFL, Jacksonville Jaguars. Everybody likes to talk about, Jacksonville had their number. You cannot let that happen with playoff implications on the line if Carson Wentz is the supposed answer at the quarterback position. And I won't get into anything more because this is your show, Corey, but I'll dive more into it tomorrow for people.
I invite you on here for that reason, but
yes.
There's fundamentally Jalen Hurts is a damn running back, so I know.
Oh my,
he's a damn running back.
A running back who has. I was going to say this tomorrow too. Carson Wentz, I think it's undebatably he has undebatably the better arm talent. I think we can all agree on that. But in my opinion, quarterbacks, there's a lot that has to do with what lies between the ears in terms of leadership ability, in terms of being able to make smart plays. And Jalen Hurts, for as much as people like to clown him, being a running back, he had a better season last year than Carson Wentz did. And I'm not the only one who thinks that. People think I'm crazy for having this take. Literally go look up quarterback rankings. You would be surprised. Go ahead, Corey. Sorry.
My thing is I want to see Jalen Hurts actually finish and succeed in a meaningful game. That's what I want to see. I've seen Carson Wentz succeed and fail in meaningful games. I mean, you think about it, and this is back to when he played at Alabama, right? He had to get Tua to come in there and finish for him, right? That in national championship game. I want
I know
to see it do it in the end. That's the only thing I'm saying. Hold on here. Let's go through these comments because we're getting a little backlogged here after Nati's talking all this blasphemy. But it is. That's blasphemy. I said Alabama by only time will tell Wentz I ain't gonna be a Washington fan and say he's gonna be better, but we just got Wentz, but I'm glad we got second. Let's see here. They hit thank you, Randy.
The same poop that Philip Rivers won 11 games with the year prior. Michael Pittman was a rookie. Jonathan Taylor was a rookie too.
Okay. Running we're not good. Thank you. I'm not a big fan. Thank you, Connor. Appreciate that. Let's see. The best quarterback we've had in the past 5 years. Yeah, since Kirk Cousins. Passes downfield. Part of the reason down was bad, atrocious. Then you get the linebacker situation. Knock on wood, but has possible chance of getting hurt. Well, I mean, he stayed healthy for the most part. He worked through those injuries last year. Let's see here. They say the NFC East is worse. Look at the AFC South. Look at the NFC South. That's just as bad. How many quarterbacks have Washington taken in the past? Had in the past 5 years? True. What's up, Dubs? Not to look like black. Okay. Was Phillip Rivers supposed to win in Jacksonville? He won 11 games. I'm more extent. I'm gonna touch this here in a minute about Sam Howell because I feel like I have a take that may be a little off the wall on that. Let's see. So Rivers is better than Wentz. Nah. Let's see. Now it sound like a Cowboys fan. Yeah, you sound like an Eagles fan. Let's see here anymore. What's up, Roger? Tommy T. Colts didn't play COVID Commander twice. I mean, that's true. And Garrett Gilbert Grape was kind of throwing darts for a little bit, and then Scott Turner got too smart for him. Roger says ball control, smash mouth pro with toughness and physicality. It twerks. Yeah, you talk. Tell that to the Rams and the Bengals. They weren't doing that all that mess. Okay, Jags always beat the Bucs. There we go. Okay, anyway, so we'll move back from this. We'll talk about the draft here. So going back, and nice segue as we always go down these deep dark holes when Nati comes down here. Pause. But for Darren Mathis, Brian Robinson, second day of the draft. For Darian, looked like he may have been a bit of a reach. It probably was a reach. But he served a need. He filled a role. This is a rotational defense. You lost Inice. You lost Timmy. I don't see how they could. And I know Brisker was there. I know Nakobe Dean was there, who went to Philadelphia. But I don't know since you dismantled the key strength of this defense, how you don't build it back better.
Yeah. I do think the Darren Mathis pick was a reach. I do like him as a player. He's a supposed run stuffer. I watched him a lot of Bama, and he still ended up having 9 sacks last year. So I know Coach Rivera kept talking about it in his presser, and I think Martin Mayhew as well for a run stopper with that sort of pass, or running off the in the interior, or pass rushing, I should say, in the interior. Potential, I think that's a great get for us. But I agree with you once again, Corey. Second round, a little too high, especially when he's probably not going to get starter reps right away. Right in the second round, first round picks, you need to get guys who are going to be starters. At least first, second game of the season starting off. But with the Brian Robinson thing, though, I'm super high on Brian Robinson. I think he's going to do wonders for our offense, man. I know we talked about Peyton Barber extensively my first year on YouTube, and how I was very much not a fan of him and what he brought. I think Brian Robinson, I think he definitely has way more tools than Peyton Barber. But I think he could serve that sort of Peyton Barber role, at least to start off. But I think it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up leading.
No, you shut your mouth. Don't you ever mention. I don't ever want to hear you mention Peyton Barber the way you.
I said that role.
Yeah, I know. I don't even want you to. I don't want to hear you utter his mouth how disrespectful you were to that man on here multiple times.
He had one good game with the Raiders, and then
he was good enough. He was good enough. He was good enough. How's that short yardage game last year? Anyway, go ahead. I interrupted.
I think that says more about maybe Gibson or the running backs that we have on our roster than Peyton Barber, if we're going to be honest. Going back to Brian Robinson, though, I think he's going to be a start for us.
Don't move the goalpost on me, Nati. Don't do that.
I'm trying not to.
You already did multiple times, but okay. Anyway, go ahead.
But again, it wouldn't surprise me if he leads our rushing attack in terms of touchdowns on the ground. I think he could be that goal line carrier.
Okay. I love the Brian Robinson pick. I just God, and it'll make me vomit. But to quote Roger, physical, big physical back, hard nosed baller. I think that he brings these two guys. I think these were more not only talent wise, but I think these guys are a little bit older too. I think Robinson's almost 23. Fadarian Matthews is almost 25. They brought in mature veterans. not veterans, but mature rookies, which would seem like it was kind of a theme going throughout the whole draft. And then we move over to day 3, where we got some interesting dudes there. I think Percy Butler, I think we're gonna see him a little bit more than I think people are gonna say. I think last year Derek Forrest, who I was kind of high on Derek Forrest, you kind of put on tape of Derek Forrest. He's really just running around. He didn't make big plays, but kind of runs in the same vein as Percy Butler. But they say he made his bread and butter at that Shrine game. But I think the biggest pick of day 5, and I think the steal of the draft, Sam Howell. And I'm gonna dive in here already, and I gotta find that comment. Yeah, I'm gonna find this comment, and I'm not picking on my boy when I say this, but I think, and I gotta find it here real quick. Who commented on that one? I don't remember, but it was just Uptown Dre. Our boy Uptown Dre said this. He said, "I'm more ecstatic about Sam Howell than Wentz now." I think this is detrimental. This will be detrimental to that young man. Because if Carson falters, it's going to be a matter of time, and we know how Ron is. I feel like they will rush his development, and it will crush him. Because you already think, and it could be on high. It could be also, it could work for him, right? It could also work that he takes that motivation and say, "I'm supposed to be a first round pick. Here you go, 5th round Sam. I'm going to light you bums up." I feel like, but we always get our hopes up. We push a guy up so high on a pedestal that he reads it, he sees it, it gets in his head, he gets big-headed, and he falters. I don't want this to be with Sam Howell. I don't want to see Sam Howell this year. I don't want to see him at all. I don't want to see him. I want him to hold that damn clipboard and look good at it. That's all he needs to do. I want him to have that little Bose piece in his ear, holding it, looking like this on the sideline, sitting there looking at the playbook with Ken. He needs to be beside Kenzie and Peasy the whole time. And then when Carson or Taylor comes off the field, he needs to just go sit there and look and learn and absorb everything. That's what I think. I just don't want to rush him up.
I agree with you. I don't want to see him on the field this season. But I will say this. If Ron Rivera wanted to put expectations on Sam Howell, he would have drafted him maybe in the 2nd or 3rd round. I think he's kind of talked about that in his presser. Like, I think he was asked, like, what are you thinking about drafting Sam Howell or any quarterback in the 2nd or 3rd round? And he was like, no, we have our answer, or not answer, but we have our quarterback in Carson Wentz. What's up? Brittany Zone.
What's up, Kyle?
We have our answer in Carson Wentz. He's our quarterback right now, and it's that. There's no quarterback competition. So I don't think he's going to actually put expectations on Sam Howell, and I don't think he should. At the end of the day, he was a 5th-round pick. Not just Washington, but several teams passed on him multiple times. I think we got to chillax a little bit with the Sam Howell expectations, although, again, I love the pick too. It possibly could be the steal of the draft, and I think it just adds to, once again, for all the fans out there who want to hate on the class, a very solid draft class for us.
Yeah, I think it was. And Cole Turner in there, who I want to get my boy James Mitchell, but it is what it is. He goes to Detroit. I wish we could have got him, but Cole Turner, I mean, the boy, big body kid, 6'7". He was actually one of Carson Strong's targets out there in Nevada. Also, you add in Chris Paul, not the guard, and then you get the young man out of Oklahoma State, big corner. He's older too, so I feel like you kind of touched and had you built enough with that draft there. I think you did enough. You addressed some needs. Could you've gotten a linebacker? Yes, the linebacker thing. But this kind of brings me to my next point, which we've heard the rumblings of. I think Landon Collins is coming back. And I said this last month. I thought he was going to come back. My thing, I really do, because he's going to be your linebacker. He's going to play a linebacker. That Buffalo nickel ain't nothing but a linebacker. That's all it is. And you can call him safety. You can call me a millionaire if I print out about 100 blank slips of $1 million. It had to be real. All you know, like it's like a rap video with all them dollars they be throwing up there. That's not real money.
Yeah.
So, hey man, sometimes I don't know. Hey, y'all probably do it different in Chicago, but it is what it is. That's indeed.
I mean, yeah. I don't know, man. I just think in terms of like the draft class overall, I think let me ask you this, Corey. What was your favorite pick in the draft class? I don't know if you had that ready.
Favorite pick. I'd have to say the Brian Robinson pick just because I wanted that. We need that type of back in Washington. Yeah. We don't need that pass catching. Okay, that pass catching back wide receiver. I need a guy who knows how to run the football, who's not trying to learn to run the position, who will just run over people. He doesn't have to be the fastest and just play aggressive. That's what you need. If you want people to respect you, you're gonna need to have that power. Damn it, Roger. Damn. You got to you gotta have it. You gotta tote that rock, man.
Yeah. No, I actually agree with you too.
I love Brian Robinson, man. But yeah, to my point, do you think that Landon Collins, do we see him in the Commanders uniform come September?
All the money is tied up for other teams right now. I mean, I think the possibility of him returning to us pretty high, especially because I agree with you. I mean, this team, I don't think the fans are giving this front office enough credit. They literally added players to every single one of the problem areas of this team that we have leading into the draft, -1.
Brent
linebacker.
Exactly what Brent's saying right here. People sleep, and I do think people are actually sleeping on this roster. I think this roster is better than what it was last year in a lot of spots. Not all of them. I think you took a dip down in the defensive line. I think if they actually learn
with the Darian Mathis,
experience wise, right? And then you have Chase Young coming back off the injury. You did add F.A. Obata there too, who's F.A. Obata. He's not a bad he's not a bad defensive. He had
success last year, right?
Something like
wrong with that. Yeah. Situational pass.
Yeah, but he's a good. He was with Ron, and that's another thing. What do you think about these Washington Commanders? Too many of them.
It's a running joke, Corey. At this point, I mean, it feels like every single Panther that gets let go from the Panthers or formerly played for the Panthers ends up on this team. And honestly, I've been okay with it just because I like Andrew Norwell, I like Trey Turner. I would be ecstatic though if we get one specific Panther, and that is James Bradbury. And I know that was brought up in the comments.
Yeah.
I think if we bring up James Bradbury, if we bring him in here, I think he would be by far the best Commander that we brought in.
Best Commander though. And I know Ron said he was trying to look for the mix of like when he had Jonathan Stewart there. And that's why he went with Brian Robinson was getting a guy like this. So he had that 1-2 punch. So hopefully we'll see a lot of running this year from this team.
Not putting the burden too much on Carson Wentz again, just like Indy did.
Our first round didn't get starting snaps most of last year. We don't need Mathis to start, but learn and get better. I mean, if they're running like 3 wide receiver sets, that's still a start, right? I would think so.
Yeah.
We pick it, and Jim Rat Drew asked the question. I mean, it's a chance, but my thing is, you had an opportunity to get him 2 years ago. He didn't sign. I know.
That's why. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
He's not going to be as pricey as he was then.
Yeah, that's true. But still, I mean,
especially at this point in the offseason.
And that's where and don't forget, this was when we hit. This is where our free agents hit. Were last year, Charles Leno, and for lack of a better term, Bob McCain. Right? I mean, when Bobby was on, which was very few and far between, he was okay. I mean, granted, the Giants made him look like an all-star. That one game. I was like, Yeah. Jake from State Farm. There. Lord Henry. Let's see here. Yeah. So what do you think about this too? Terry situation. Do you think a deal's gonna get done with the Terry situation? Will a deal get done? A la like it did with Jonathan Allen, Logan Thomas last year, probably on the eve of camp. And then if it does not get done, what are your hopes that a deal will actually get done? Give me a percentage.
Okay, so on your first question, yeah, I think you took the words right out of my mouth. I think it's going to get done around when Jonathan Allen deal got done last year, right? I think it was right before training camp in July. I can see that time frame for Terry. Might be a little bit earlier than that. We'll see. But I think eventually it will get done. And you asked me if it doesn't get done by around that time, then how likely do I think it will ever get done? Is that what you asked me, Corey?
Yeah, will it get done if it lingers into the season?
I could see a franchise tag scenario, Corey. I hate to say it, but if we do not sign him by the start of the regular season, Terry seems like the guy who, like, once the regular season starts, that's all he's gonna think about. I don't know. You think otherwise, Corey?
I have my doubts.
Okay.
I think it gets done, but I still have my doubts because at the grand scheme of things, and I keep on saying this to people, and people I'll get crucified because it's a bad take. In this, we overvalue talent, we overrate talent, right? And I will say that. And come on now, come on! Don't give me that look now. Terry is a top 15 receiver in the league. There's no ifs, ands, about it. He's not a top 10. He's a top 15 receiver. Now, granted, if he gets this quarterback, but it's like the hesitations, the ifs, like what they say, if ands and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have Merry Christmas. We get to see this in action this year with Carson Wentz. And I think Carson and Terry, they're playing for each other to get paid. Because, Carson doesn't have that guaranteed money going into 2023.
See, that's the thing, though. Wouldn't it make more sense to sign him before the season, where he's probably going to have his best season in his career with a actual capable quarterback at the helm? Wouldn't it make more sense to save a couple of bucks, sign him before the regular season starts? Also, keep the contract situation off of Terry's mind, which will allow him to play even better on the field.
You're thinking like a sensible person, though. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you because I said and I've had these arguments with Toothpick a lot, and I'm like, I'm playing devil's advocate, right? I want Terry here. I do. Yeah. If not, you need to get something for him. You need to trade him, get something for him. That's why I feel. But that Terry McLaurin's contract negotiation is such an enigma, and it was thrown off by Christian Kirk's contract. Christian Kirk is not a $21 million a year wide receiver. We know that. And that set the market stupid. Especially now where you're getting these wide receivers. A lot of these guys, if you look at it, Terry's one too. These day 2, day 3 guys that get drafted. The top 3 paid wide receivers in the NFL, right? They were like day 4. They were day 3 picks. Like Devontae, I think, was picked in the 5th round, and I think Stephon Diggs was picked in the 5th round.
Devontae was picked in the 2nd.
Devontae was picked in the 2nd. Devontae Adams was picked in the 7th. Somebody said that from
Fresno State.
Really?
Yeah. But Tyreek Hill was picked in the 5th.
5th, Tyreek, that's it. Then I'll probably mess him up with Tyreek Hill then. But I'm just saying, like, there's not a lot of ways to maneuver around it and say, like, is he a $24-25 million a year wide receiver?
I get that. You can correct me, Corey, if I'm wrong, but I think DJ Moore signed his contract after Christian Kirk, right?
Yeah, he did.
And I would see Terry's contract being similar to DJ Moore's based off of their production, production, and their age. I think DJ Moore is actually a year or two younger. And that was, again, after the bloated contract that Christian Kirk got, DJ Moore signed a pretty reasonable contract. I think it was only a couple $1 million per year. So I think the more time passes along, I think the more we see Kirk's contract being an outlier and everybody being around that range where the market puts them. So I still think Terry's going to get paid at least or in the 23-24 range. I think that's where he's going to get paid per year.
Yeah. Alexander Wilson. Why must you live in the past, Alex? Why must you live in the past? Bro, why must you live in the past? I'll pass on how. He's a 5th round pick, bro. Come on now. Come on. I didn't say he was average.
Oh,
I didn't say he was average. I said he was overrated. That's what I said.
You said he was 15, 16 range, right? NFL starters?
Yeah.
That's average.
Okay, so that's average. Okay, there you go. I just
average starter. Yeah.
He's an average starter. Yeah, he was. And I mean that team willed him to victory. That's all I'm saying. But
sorry.
he was like the dot to the team's I. That's exactly it. He was the crossing of the T's. That's exactly what he was. But you were right. I'm just saying, hey, look, you're right. But he was dotting across. Like, there's some games he was not impressive. There were some games that he was very impressive. I think Heineke is number 2, not because he's second best, because Ron knows the importance of old school quarterback development. There's a bad joke I want to make, and I can't even make it because you know where I was going with that. And I stopped myself real quick. If Dwayne Haskins was still with us, I'd ask him how he's doing about that. There we go. Smash that like button. That's right, y'all. Smash it up. We appreciate y'all. We in Kansas City East. Stop with this passing all over the field with Wentz. Nobody said nothing about passing over the field with Wentz. Roger, what you talking about? He be up in that Discord chat with Tim and Tim's group, and he's hearing the voices in there. Armani Rogers, shout out to Ohio University. That was a good guy. He's a quarterback. My boy Cy up in there. What's up, brother? Detroit Lions fan. Hey, Slim Corey's funny. I ain't that funny, bro.
No, Corey, stop it.
I'm not funny. I don't think I'm funny. No, I don't. I really don't. This is just me. Collins was thinking he was the second coming of Sean Taylor. Said, yeah, you right about that. That's why Dan Snyder thought it too. Let's see here. Catch up on here. Excited for Brian Robinson. What's PIMP? One of the old school guys. Washington drafting a running back. You have depth. Do you guys think the OC will run the ball enough? You should have been a well-balanced offense start of the year. What do you think about that? So I'm just going to tell y'all this. And I'm going to be very Roger Smith with my answer. Shout out Roger. I don't trust Scott Turner. I don't trust Scott Turner to get the best out of anybody on that offense. This is why I'm very hesitant going into this year about I think the roster, and you talked about talent earlier, right? Talent-wise, I think the roster is excellent. I don't trust Scott Turner to be creative enough and competent enough, because we saw it last year. We saw it against Seattle, and we saw it against Dallas. They go out here and he tries to get cute. And it's like he outthinks himself. Sometimes bland works. Sometimes you don't need a salted rice cake. You don't need a flavored rice cake. It just works plain. Plain is good. You can be plain Jane. You don't need sprinkles and marshmallows on your ice cream cone. Shout out to people who are lactose intolerant. But you don't need all that. Sometimes I just need something plain. Give me something. I don't need a toasted grilled cheese sandwich. Sometimes I can just eat a slice of cheese in between 2 cold pieces of bread, and it works because it serves the hunger. I don't know. What do you think?
Captain Obvious. I think this year is a huge year for Scott Turner. For all the, I'm not going to say hate. I don't hate on anybody, but for all the critiques that I had of Carson Wentz. I don't hate on. No.
Yes, you are.
Who?
You are a hater. You are.
I don't hate on anybody.
You hate.
Hate is a strong word. Maybe strongly dislike.
You hate. No, stop it.
I hate.
I'm not saying you hate like hate the individual, but you hate on them.
So back to this topic about.
Thank you, Chris.
No. Back to this topic on Turner. I'm like you. I have my doubts, but at the same time, I feel like we cannot make a complete assessment of Scott Turner and what he brings to the table until we see him with a capable quarterback, and we're going to see that this year with Carson Wentz. And if he fails this year, you got to fire him. I don't know about you, Corey.
Extension.
So it's a coach. Corey, how many times do coaches get extensions? It doesn't matter.
He got a 2-year contract. He got another year on this contract.
Corey, this isn't a player. Coaches literally can get fired even after an extension.
I agree with. I'm not saying that. I agree with you. I agree that if this offense does not flip flop in the right direction, there's no excuse for him. Like I get that he should be. Like I think there should have been changes on the coaching staff, which I thought was so bizarre that he did not make one change on that coaching staff. Steve Russ should not have a job defensive wise. He should not be here. I honestly think the wide receiver coach Drew Terrell should have been fired. The reason why I have a conspiracy theory here. Jim Hostler was so damn inept as a wide receivers coach, they had to move him to senior offensive assistant. Kiss my. Anyway, the only people that deserve to keep their job in the coaching staff right now, John Matsko, Randy Jordan, Jennifer King.
I don't know about Sam Mills.
Oh, yeah, Sam Mills. Yeah, Sam Mills III. Oh, Lord, have mercy.
All that talent.
That talent. I mean, Nate Katzer, maybe? Nate Katzer. And I mean, special teams wasn't all that great, but maybe he deserves to keep his job. But you look at this coaching staff, who deserves to keep their job? Like, if they faltered this year and you did not change anything on that.
But in terms of being on the hot seat, I think we're talking about the wrong coordinator, Corey. I think we should be talking about Jack Del Rio. I definitely think he's, in my opinion, he's more on the hot seat than Scott Turner, just because Jack Del Rio has had the talent to put out, even with the injuries last year and COVID. He's had the talent for most parts of the year. Look at what he did early part of last season. We were arguably the worst defense in the entire NFL before Chase Young went down with an injury and stuff. Like, for that stretch, we were terrible. We did improve towards the second half of the season, which gives me hope that we could be a pretty capable defense this year, especially with the schedule that we're going to have. But I think Jack Del Rio, this is also, people forget this, 2 years, Corey. This is 2 straight years of starting off slow on defense. 2 straight years. Like, before Chase Young had, the Defensive Rookie of the Year season last year or 2 years ago, we didn't start off that well. Remember the Cardinals game, the Ravens game? Like, I get it, they're 2 good quarterbacks, but
you're half right. You're half right. It's not. No, you're half right. I'm agreeing with you. You need to add on the whole damn team started slow.
True.
The whole team started slow. That's what, and that is indicative of maybe that might be another discussion that you may need to have. It's not going to happen. I think if Washington finished with 7 wins again this year, Ron Rivera's still going to be here. I think he will be. I really do.
I disagree.
You disagree? You can disagree.
They drafted older guys on purpose, Corey. I think they feel the pressure to win this year. They win the same amount of games for 3 straight years in a 17-game schedule. With this kind of schedule that we have upcoming,
he'll be back. He wins 7, 8, 9 games. If 6 and below,
7
better watch out.
He cannot win the same amount of games.
I think 7 and 8, because you know what the justification for that is. Well, we're maintaining
8 wins or more.
We're maintaining.
Ideally, 9.
Yeah. What's up, cuz? Dwayne up in the house. Ron not getting fired. He turned the entire roster around. Well, yeah, it's just true. I mean, they just got to execute. My thing is, and I like Ron. I think Ron's a good dude. I don't need to hear you saying, I'm just tired of the excuses. I'm tired of when the media asks you questions, which I know the media can be a little rough, and they can be rough at times, but that's their job. You got a job, dude. Your job is to go out and win football game. Their job is to ask tough questions when stuff ain't going right, and to praise you when it's going bad, or when it's going good. Like, that's what they're supposed to do. Yeah. So you don't get mad at people. You go, oh, well, if you ask that same question again, guys, I said I'm going to answer it. I'm going to walk out of here. What? Like, that works that baby back bull works in Charlotte. It don't work in the nation's capital, boss. I'm telling you that. And I've sat on this for the whole time, and I've been consistent with it. Shut the hell up and win some damn ball games. That cures everything. Like, we were talking, I remember I was on Skin's channel the other after the draft, and B. Nizzle was on there. He said, Jahan Dotson, that name's not going to sell tickets. Who gives a damn? They sell tickets. You know what sells tickets? Matter. You know what sells tickets? Winning. Holy God. Oh my dear Barbara, it's a novel concept. If you win football games, this dump behind us will fill up. People be happy. Crap pipe be busting all people. Oh, that's all right. We're whooping the Cowboys' grits right now. Oh, what's that? We clipped the eagle. Oh, Lord. Oop. Oh, God. Ooh, is that toilet paper? Oh, it's all good. You know, we'll be back here. We winning, boys. We winning. You can't do that. I always say, you can be a lovable loser. You can't be an arrogant loser. You can't be an arrogant. You can't be a loser and be arrogant. You can't be abrasive and be a loser. Because it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Telling the truth. Yep. More and more.
Oh, God, the septic tank just blew up. Oh, that's all right, y'all. We good. Oh, did you see Carson Wentz? You see that? Oh, you see George Slide? He just kicked the game with field goal. We done won 5 in a row. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in lockstep with you, Corey. I've been in lockstep with you for most of this stream. I mean, we got to win, Corey. I disagree. I still, though, going back to the coach thing and how many games we have to win.
I get it. I get that. It's like, if he wins 7 again, I ain't gonna be happy. And I've probably been one of the most patient people in the fan base with Ron. And I'm on record. Like, I don't criticize. I criticize things that Ron does and how Ron acts. I don't criticize him as a coach. And I got the tape record to prove it too. But year 3, we go through this stuff. Oh, Lord, I'm lighting everything on fire. I'm lighting everything. We are going, like, if it's 7 wins again, like, it just ain't cutting it, bruv.
Yeah.
It just ain't cutting it, man.
In 17 game schedule.
Yeah, I mean,
7 wins is not what it was even before. Like,
no. I mean, it wanted to get the division last year. Now they kept you out of the playoffs. Really, 9 wins ain't what it was.
Yeah.
Because some 9 and 8 teams didn't make the playoffs. What does it make? I don't know,
with
man.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, with Carson Wentz, though. And we kind of look at the outlook. They had mini camps today.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's good to see the guys in there. It was good to actually see a player actually doing some football moves in the new helmet. So I thought that was real. I thought that was good to see them here. And that's kind of signaling that, football is almost here. OTAs are almost here. Shout out to Rio. Rio put on Twitter he's going to be at OTA, so he's going to be logging it. So y'all gonna have to go check that out because he is the king. He is the king of getting the access. So you gotta go check him out there. Let me see here. If y'all got any questions in the comments, make sure you throw them in here. We'll go one thing around. Dan Freaky, cancer, COVID, Congress. Ron's been through it all. That's true. That's true, and I think that's why I have so much patience with Ron. Carlton asks this. He says this Washington team, reward people for not good coaching or good play. For example, OC gets paid before wide receiver was not a failure, but he was a constant good coach. And let's keep the running game. Well, they get paid from different pools too, and Scott Turner's not making $24 million a year. He ain't making no 20. I can guarantee he ain't making no $24-25 million a year. He might be making $10-11 million a year. He ain't making nowhere near it.
Scott Turner?
Yeah, he might not even be making that much. Probably about $5
million per year.
I mean, maybe 2.5.
I mean, he's not even a head coach. I don't know.
I mean, offensive coordinator, top offensive coach.
I want to be. This might shock you, Corey. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not even like seven figures. I could see it being like 900,000, something like that per year.
I think it's probably about 2.5 or something. Be the OC, the offensive coordinator. That's what I'm thinking. And too bad we don't have because it couldn't be.
I feel like Bieniemy would probably make 2.5 a year.
I think Bieniemy would probably make about 5.
I don't know, Corey.
I'm just saying. I like to see what these coaches make.
Yeah,
I would.
There should definitely be something out there that like tracks coaches' salaries and stuff.
You need to do that. We got a thing. Cousin Dwayne up in the comments. Kenny, man, what's up, bro? See you on Ed Oliver on Tuesday. I think that's right. We'll be on there Tuesday. Let's see. Dove says winning cures all damn straight. Let's see. I can't see anymore, y'all. So I got to put these glasses on. But I'm getting old here. All right. Yeah, Corey telling the truth. Corey always tell the truth. Corey
always.
Yeah,
about Matt Stafford.
That's not the truth. That was
You saw the light, Corey.
I was seeing what I saw with my eyes, him in the Motor City, and now we gotta see if he's gonna do it again this year. Let me ask you this: who you think had the best draft of all the NFL?
Oh, Jets, easy.
Really? Ooh, I thought Baltimore had a better draft than they did.
Maybe second or third, but the Jets, Corey. They drafted Sauce Gardner, who cornerback 1, cornerback 2. You guys can debate it. He was my cornerback 2. I was a Stingley fan. Garrett Wilson, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2.
That's
then they traded back into the first round and got Jermaine Johnson, who was on most mock drafts, a top 10 guy, one of the best, maybe the third guy, maybe behind Hutchinson and Trevon Walker in terms of edge guys out of this draft. They traded up into the late 20s to draft him. And then they drafted my guy, Corey, Breece Hall. I mean, I've been hyping up this guy as a potential running back here in DC. They got him in the second round. Then they drafted Jeremy Ruckert, third round pick, tight end, Ohio State. Chris Sims, I think that was his number 1 tight end in this draft class. I mean, they hit it out of the park. I know they had more ammo than Baltimore, so maybe you would put their grade down a bit because of that. But in terms of the draft itself, like you got to give the Jets props. I think they won it. And I think they have a very bright future. I was on the quarterback. I was on the train for the Jets quarterback. I don't know why the name is not coming.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson. I don't know why I forgot his name.
Good. He's so good. Nati loved him so much.
I know his stats were terrible last year.
Couldn't remember his name. That's how much the guy was so high. I don't forget people that I was high on in drafts and stuff.
Let me put it this way. I forgot his name, but I remembered all the Jets draft picks. I don't know, man. It just happens. Life happens. But Zach Wilson, I was on his train September of his last season in college.
Oh, we know.
Yes. So I'm very high on the Jets. I think they're going to start winning more games. And Zach Wilson, he didn't have the greatest rookie years. So didn't Trevor Lawrence, but I think they're going to have bounce back years. Hopefully.
Trevor Lawrence will. Zach Wilson won't. I already told you this before. This is why I think.
Why?
It's a weird thing. 1, it's the Jets. 2, it's New York. old Provo, Utah boy, old Utah kid coming to the big city. I think it's like real estate, right? Location. That's why I think, and I'm not rooting against them. I'm definitely not rooting against Zach Wilson, but I just think that there's other factors.
Zach Wilson guy, Corey.
I know you are. Yeah, you forgot his name. Up until you.
Oh my! No, I don't know why. It just happens. Corey.
Roll the tape back. Roll the tape back.
I apologize. But...
Gunnar says Pat's finishing 4th in the AFC this year. That was interesting that they took Bailey's app so in that draft like that. But I mean, I guess you got to get a backup
over Sam Howell.
Yeah, it was over Sam Howell. Maybe, you know what? Maybe Alice is right. Sam Howell's trash. I don't know. Josh Taylor did that interview with them and stuff and kind of broke them down. So Josh, if Josh is high on him, I feel like I can be high on him too. So that's the only reason why I'm high on him. I think Mac Jones is trash. You know, I was looking this up earlier. They don't have an offensive coordinator. Although we know Bill Belichick does, what he does is different. Yeah. But they don't have a play caller on, and it's going to be interesting because they don't really have anybody that calls offensive plays on there. They've got Ivan Fears, who's been the running backs coach for 30 years. He's been there since 1992. Judge Judy's back there, right? He's the senior offensive assistant. He doesn't call plays. He's more special teams guy. Troy Brown is joining them as a wide receivers coach. We don't really know what he has, right? Like it's just really weird. And they don't even have a quarterback, so they don't have a quarterback position coach on the roster either.
I still believe in Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Still believe in Mac Jones.
Mike. Yeah. What's up, Micro? Mike was on his show yesterday with Mark Orem Forum. We were on there with him, so it's good. Tyrone Williams up in the house with the super chat. $5 super chat. I got 5 on it. I didn't get that soundboard, and like when I get to $5, I got 5 on it.
Yeah.
What's up on the core path? Ooh, that says that tall quarterback got taken a job from Hal. Watch 757. Look, I love what I've seen out of that quarterback that they got from Southeastern Louisiana State University. I cannot, and that his name escapes me.
Cole Kelly.
Yeah, Cole Kelly. Kelly. Yeah, Cole Kelly. I love his tape.
Wait, so you love this guy, but you don't.
I love his tape. I said tape.
Know his name? No, but I know, but you don't know his name.
I love his tape. I love his tape. I love his tape. I said tape. I love his tape.
I know. I'm not trying to. I get it. I'm just saying, but you didn't know his name. Is what I'm saying. Like, it's not the same situation because Zach Wilson have been hyping up for years, but.
Yeah, I just saw
my mistake was bigger. I get it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I just saw this guy yesterday, and I saw him on Saturday. But dude has a good arm, threw a pretty ball, and I was fascinated how quick he was, how fleet-footed he was. I don't know if you saw some of his highlight. He hurdled a defensive back down there one day.
6'7", 260.
He hurdled a cat. I wish I could find it. Lord have mercy. I was like, and the first thing I said, tight end. I was just like, tight end. Like that's what it just screams to me. It's tight end. Maybe they brought in a lot of tight ends, so they don't know what the tight end room is going to look like. But Cole Kelly, I mean, he gives you another option. Ooh, boy. Tyrone's not wrong, though. He could threaten Sam Howell, though. He's a little bit older, though. Sam Howell is the youngest draft pick on this roster. He won't be 21 until September.
Yeah.
There you go, boys. Jahan Dotson sound like Nati.
We're about the same age.
There you go.
You got that going for you.
Nati Dotson. Nati. There we go. We're gonna call him Nati from now on. Yeah, but Nati, I had to keep you on here longer than the game, bro. But I appreciate you coming on here. What you got coming up? Where people can find you? I know that everybody knows where they can find you. They can just click on the title, and if they don't know you, they can find you there.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Corey, for having me on. It's always good fun being on your show, and you are funny. I don't care if you think that or not. You are funny, bro.
I'm funny.
Yes, you are. But yeah, you guys can find me at DMV Sports Zone on YouTube, Twitter page at DMV Sports Zone, Instagram, all lowercase DMV Sports Zone, and TikTok run by Abdullah, one of the co-hosts on the channel, all lowercase DMV Sports Zone as well. Tomorrow, at 1 p.m. Eastern, I'm in Chicago right now. 1 p.m. Eastern, I'll have a live stream with Rio Robinson, who we spoke about today, and I'll also have it with Juan Gotti as well. Should be a lot of good fun. And if you want to see some more Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz debate, there's going to be a lot of that tomorrow. So I'll leave it at that. And again, thank you, bro, for having me on.
Oh, yeah, always, bro. Oh, always. Although you made my stomach ill when you said that. But no, I appreciate you, brother. Proud of everything you do and everything you're accomplishing. Y'all check out Nati, DMVSportsZone. Those guys do it great over there all the time. You know, there's going to be Capitals coverage. There's going to be Nationals coverage right now here. And then the Tyrone. What's up, man? You got to get. Let's see. Thank you again, brother, for the super chat. Brothers, our whole offense is huge at tight end and running back. Our running game gone to be like Cleveland Browns. I agree. Perfect. I agree with you. I hope so. That means we're going, because you know what?
I think Brandon Sheriff would help that, but it's okay. We can't say his name. Is that what we're?
Why are you living in the past? Why are you living in the past? Stop living in the past. What's wrong with this?
I'm just saying.
What's wrong with this fan base? We live in the past. You want some overpaid guard? Who backed into an
who's gonna ball out in Jacksonville?
Spare me.
I mean, as much as you can ball out as an offensive lineman, he's gonna ball out in Jacksonville.
I don't need to see the cat's word. What's up, bub? Come on.
I think the cat agrees.
No, he doesn't. Come here, bud.
Yes, he does.
There you go. What do you think, Ty? Nazi's crazy, right, bub? See, he doesn't even know. Y'all, but anyway, Sanchez 405 for Nati. Tyson, run, boy, run. Let's keep that same damn energy. We'll outlast the bastards together. And like I always tell y'all now, don't give up till a miracle happens, because this could be a miracle season for us. Hopefully. We hope and pray. But anyway, Sanchez 405. Until next time, thank you all for coming and having a good old time here on a Friday. Spend your Friday with us. Love, peace, and hell. Till the next time, somebody please, dear Lord, get my theme music.